Well, you've survived Groundhog Day. You've gotten up and it's not February 2nd anymore. And I am delighted that you've chosen to spend some time with us in these daily devotion videos. We are nearing the end of our time on the early stories of Genesis, and we are reading from Genesis chapter 11, part of the Tower of Babel. We've heard about verses 1 and 2 on Monday. Pastor Chris talked about verses 3 and 4 yesterday, and I'm going to share with you now Genesis 11, verses 5, 6, 7, and 8 from the New Revised Standard Version. It reads like this. The Lord came down to see the city and the tower, which the mortals had built. And the Lord said, look, they are one people, and they have all one language. And this is only the beginning of what they will do. Nothing that they propose to do will now be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language there, so that they will not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad, and there over the face of all the earth, and they left off building the city. Now, as I shared on Sunday in worship at West Lawn, you can go back and view it if you choose on the website or on the West Lawn app. As I shared on Sunday, this tale, this story about the Tower of Babel, speaks from what we believe to be the experience of seeing the Babylonian ziggurats, the tall, almost pyramid-like buildings that were erected in the Middle East, partly as a burial place, partly as a monument to great leaders, and partly as a place of worship, with the top of that considered being not only, as it says in Genesis 11, in the top being in the very heavens, but they were considered to be a portal to God, a place of spiritual significance where God could come down and men could climb up the stairs and they could meet together at the top, perhaps in acts of worship and sacrifice and so on. So all that said, I hope we can agree, I hope we can understand that that what the author is trying to explain here is how we came to have so many different languages in our world when we all come from one ancestry. When we all come from Adam and Eve and later from Noah and his family. How is it that we are so very different, and how is it that we have all of these languages? Now, you might be saying, well, Moses wrote this. It has to be true. And I'm not saying it's not true. What I'm saying is we know Moses, while these are called the books of Moses, Moses wasn't present at the Tower of Babel, just like he wasn't present when Cain and Abel had their dispute. He wasn't present when Eve and Adam ate of the fruit that they weren't supposed to, and Moses certainly wasn't present when God created the heavens and the earth. These are written from a Hebrew perspective to explain the great mysteries of life. And one of the mysteries that we read is why we are so very different. Even though we have more in common than we do that which divides us. So the author ascribes to God the scattering, the confusing, the assigning of many different languages to keep humanity from acquiring the knowledge of good and evil. You see, in chapter 11, as we have concluded our In the Beginning sermon series, this verse or this passage brings us full circle back to Genesis chapter 2, verse 17, where in the Garden of Eden, God provided everything Adam and Eve could need, everything they could possibly need. And all he said was, but of this tree you shall not eat, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And yet what did they do? They ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You see, there is a part of us that seems to, in our humanness and in our sinfulness, in our rebellion, and in our desire to be godlike, that we think sometimes we are like God. And my simple response to that in everyday life is, that is above my pay grade. God is not in my job description. So maybe it's in yours, but it's certainly not in mine. So we have Adam and Eve, and really all of humanity since then, striving to be like God, and often, as Paul says, thinking more highly of ourselves than we ought, thinking of ourselves in God-like terms. But here, what we really understand is it's not God that has divided us. It's our division from God that has created the divisions with and amongst other people. It's our division from God. It's our separation from God that has caused the fracturing of our relationships. And so as we read this passage, I hope you will read it for its deeper meaning. I hope you'll understand that God is, through this inspired, infallible Word of God, that God is offering us a glimpse to help us understand ourselves and our need for God, our need for a significant relationship with the Creator of the universe, our need for God's saving grace. Friends, I hope you can stay warm this week. I hope you can stay safe. I hope you survive the snowstorm, and may God be with you till we meet again.